The Gulag Boys podcast. Got my man Rome. Go way back. You know what I'm saying? Sandbox, you dig? Man, Dewan Algadon. You know what I'm saying? We here. We got some topics for y'all. We're just gonna talk about. We're just gonna have a session. Wow, who we got popping up on the camera, man?
I don't know. I'm gonna try to get somebody in here, man. Yeah, some dialogue.
Okay. I remember when hey Ron, you probably don't even remember this, man. This is too throwback, but remember when you had the prism and me and you, I even think no, I don't think Wes was there. I think it was me, you, and Chris Holmes and Dave Hoskins. And we went kind of by my parents' neighborhood where the condos is being built now, and we went over there and I might have hit the blue once. I was out of there. You know what I'm saying? You know me, I'm out of there. You know what I'm saying? And we was all over there. It had to be me, you, Dave, and Chris. By my parents' house, we was in the prison. And I don't know if the cops or somebody rolled up.
Yeah, I was about to say the
It
12
was like,
came.
we hot. He was like, we hot. We gotta do it. We had to skirt out. And that's what you would
Now
get.
look, do you remember that? That was a party, right?
Yeah, I think we was coming back from a party. We had a couple little. Remember you went to the when we went to the hood. Remember me, you, and Dave went over to the hood on the west side.
Yeah.
You was driving. They had me in the back wine blowing. I didn't even know what it was. Wine, Rome had me on some Purple Haze. I just thought it was a CD. I didn't even know what it was. I was in the back of that car stuck. So we had,
I remember that night, bro. Like everybody got DUIs but us.
Yeah, we made it out there. And then I end up, what's crazy about that, Rome? I end up getting in trouble for that, like in my 20s.
Man.
Ain't that crazy? All them escapes, and I end up getting caught with that bullshit in my 20s, dog.
Yeah.
Fuck me up.
Yeah.
Back from it, but it was they threw your boy for a loop about 12 years ago, dog. They was trying
Man, they was giving them what they used to be giving niggas, them MIPs, man.
Yeah, yep. Facts. I remember them. Yeah, we had some times, my boy.
What's MIPs?
Minor in possession. You can get it. Used to be able to get it for weed and drinking. All the white boys had them. All the white boys used to drink.
The whole school had an MIP.
Yeah, everybody had MIP.
Except for me and Dom, nigga.
Right, we did. Yeah, we was straight. And we made it out every time out of that. It was out, man, for real. That was crazy. That was crazy. Man, high school. Bro.
What's the name? Haas had one too.
Oh, Haas got popped. They caught him with one. It was right because
he didn't get caught that time, but he had a previous. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They probably some white boys. Probably got them caught up or something.
You know what's crazy, man? I've been fixing my stuff, man. I got some stuff, man. I don't even know how to do this shit, bro.
Oh, you've been setting up your little studio stuff?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna light this bitch up, man, in about a week or so. I just, man, I'm tech.
The tech. He said I got to get on my tech game.
Yeah, man. Like I don't be knowing how to do shit.
I work on these motherfuckers every day, these damn computers all the time. So, but yeah, no, it's once you get it set up though, Rome, it's cold. Like when you get it set up, it make your whole production look 20 times colder once you get it set up. But then that's the fun.
The light.
Yeah.
Huh?
And that's the fun part, like getting it set up and seeing it evolve in stages where you be like, oh, I'm about to add this because it's gonna make it look cold. That's the fun part. It's like, oh, I'm about to add this, it's gonna make it look cold.
Yeah.
See,
man, I was talking to Fed P earlier, man, and he sent me a link to his video. It was like, hold on, let me see what it's called. It's called.
Send it to me.
Hebrews to Negroes, right? And now he ain't on that shit or nothing, right? But I just, I was like, man, me, him, and Doc was on the phone. And I was like, man, oh, that shit some bullshit, nigga. All that shit, like I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it, but all that shit some bullshit. And the reason why I said all that shit some bullshit, cause like the thing that I'm on some, we not the real Jews, bro. You heard me?
Yeah.
We not the real Jews.
Oh, we can't just be the real niggas, man.
Right.
And I'm on some I don't care.
We something much greater than the real Jews, man.
Like, why we can't be the real niggas?
We the real first. We the real indigenous people, the first of everything. Like
That's fact.
all that shit, you feel me? Jew, Israelite, all that shit is something niggas made up to have an identity because they didn't know what their identity was. Right? Even these other races, right? They say, oh, even the Jewish people, they say, oh, I'm a Jew. Like, that's just to make you feel good about not being the original man. It's like we the original man, bro. Like them niggas need to shut the fuck up. And what I said about the Kyrie shit is like this. Muhammad Ali didn't try to do Malcolm X's job. Right? What's going on now is like Muhammad Ali trying to be Malcolm X.
He just tweeted some shit like 5 seconds ago.
Who? Kyrie?
Let's see. He said he basically just said, we, bring it up, Juwan. Something about we one people under God. Hey, damn.
I mean, it's politically correct.
Yeah. On another note, Lex bad, didn't it?
All right, so this is what we do. We'll start it off. We're gonna start this off right, bro. Damn.
Yeah, with her.
Twitter got them horrid on there. We gonna get up off of this. Man. I can't fucking. I'll get back to the other screen. Let's see.
Gulag.
This how you know a nigga on some confident shit, man. I wouldn't even get on here like this, bro. About to get my shit braided and shit, but I'm on some. Bro.
Man, we be on here like that all the time, fucked up, bro.
Yeah, it's like, man, I don't give a fuck, man. Niggas still look good.
This is a special message from the Jewish community to the Black community. Right now, the world is trying to pin us against each other. And I want to let you know, hear it from me first, a Jew, that we have nothing but love, respect, and admiration for you, for your people, for your culture, and for your beautiful community. We wish nothing but the best and nothing but good. And we hope that you feel the same about us. God bless you. God bless all the nations of the world for that matter. We should hear good news. We should hear peace. We should hear love. Because that is what God is about. God bless. This is a special message from the Jewish community to the Black.
Them are the ones that I see walking around West Bloomfield. With the thing in their head.
Right.
Watch this. Jewish in the world. Look, do he look like one of those Jews you talking about? What about this guy right here? What about Zuckerberg or this nigga?
Wait, Michael Bloomberg?
Yes, that's what I'm saying, bro. They just white people. People think like Jewish is a race, nigga. It's a
I said that though. Dewan, I said that is not an ethnicity. I said that. Jewish is not an ethnicity.
It's
I
the
don't know why
same as saying like Muslim is a race. Like,
it's not a race.
not a fucking race, bro.
Identify with themselves.
Yeah.
I've been saying that since forever. Jewish is not an
You look
ethnicity.
at that guy who just said we love the Jewish community. He could easily pass as what people like to think is a Jew. The reason why these guys be able to be so fucking filthy rich while having the duality of being a Jew is because they are phenotypically still white. You know what I'm saying? They don't come in when people see Mark Zuckerberg walking through, they only know he a Jew if he tell them that shit.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Now, what happens is these guys do hold themselves to Jewish principles and, you know what I'm saying, traditions and shit like that.
That's the same thing as me holding myself to Christianity, though.
Well, you know, but like you know, Christianity ain't a race, right? But let's say Christianity is so weird to say because you know so many Christians in North America have no fucking principles. They don't got no ethics. So I don't know what a Christian really is these days. No disrespect to the Christian. Me and Rome went to the same church you went to. We never seen you in there, but nigga, where we used to be at, Rome? What church was that we was at?
Dom, you went to that church too?
Romulus Community Baptist Church. Yeah, I was baptized there too.
Yes, nigga, we used to be in that bitch.
Reverend McBurrow.
All day, every day.
Reverend McBurrow.
I would wake up, we was kids. I would wake up laughing. This nigga Ron, I be in there slobbing. I wake up, this nigga Ron would just be sitting there looking at me. Laughing, nigga. Kids, bro. Kids. So, you know, hey, listen.
Hey, and that's how you know the niggas who gonna grow up and be spiritual, not religious. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
And Juan was in that bitch catching up on the sleep we didn't get from the night before, man.
That motherfucker seemed like that seemed like the longest services ever in there. How bro, we used to be in that bitch for days.
About 2 hours.
That shit was like the penitentiary for a kid, bro. You was in there like, fuck. Nigga, I used to be suffering in that motherfucker. Michael Bloomberg, a major philanthropist. He has donated more than $5 billion to gun control, climate change, and other causes.
I was rolling when you said Michael Bloomberg. I'm like, dog.
Bro, everybody you about to see, y'all gonna know, and you're gonna thought, oh, I just thought he was a white guy. Of course, nigga, because Jewish is not a race. You had some people like, oh, these guys are not white, they're Jewish. That's how stupid motherfuckers is, man.
Right.
$82 billion. Wow.
Hey, I guarantee y'all won't see one traditional, ethnically Middle Eastern looking Jew on this list. You damn sure ain't gonna see no black one either. Hey, he probably should wear a yarmulke. Hey, he cool though, dog. He be turned up at the Clippers games. That's the Clippers on it.
Yeah.
White as hell, man. He's just a white guy, bro. Jewish is just it's a religion, man, and it is a nation. Didn't know that like that.
Oracle?
Man, where his yarmulke at, man?
Yeah, I'm telling you.
What the man, these motherfuckers ain't got no. I'll say this though. If you told me he was Jewish,
yeah, I believe it.
I believe it.
I believe it.
The first three guys, you can be like, man, come on, man. Because if you believe that Jewish is some kind of race, you wouldn't think that. He do kind of look Jewish though. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'll give him that. And Jewish ain't supposed to look like nothing, but I'm talking about how y'all make. What'd you say?
There are people that look Jewish, but you
Right.
gotta
You
really
know, that
have
just like it's
a
people
fine tone eye.
who could look Puerto Rican or people who could look Jamaican or some shit like that, right? Even though none of that shit is a race. But them niggas got that pepper though. Talk about them, boy. That's your ass.
108 billion.
Larry Page.
Oh, Larry Page, yeah. Larry Page.
Mark Zuckerberg is Jewish too. Drake is Jewish, nigga. Anyway, dog, like you said, man, it's been a lot of quasi arguments, a lot of side arguments. So, a lot of people be like, oh, no, we knew that, man. So then this argument is like, no, we're not really talking about that. We're just talking about how we're the real Hebrews. That's what I'm saying. It's too many different talking points on this shit.
This is the thing, too. So, like, the real Hebrews, like, the real Hebrew Israelites is white, too.
I'll say this.
It's like, bro, I will send you niggas whatever documentation that you need. Like, you know how I got everything.
I'll tell you this, they ain't West African. They ain't West African, for sure.
No. That's why I just go by the original man, bro, because it's just like a nigga saying that he a Detroit nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, nigga, that's your identity. If that's how you choose to identify with yourself, then cool. That's what you are. That's cool. That's not how I choose to identify with myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't got to say that I'm an Israelite or a Moor or none of that shit to make me feel better. American, none of that shit.
Founded in 1948.
Look at Israel, dog. Look at fucking Israel.
The state of Israel is located on the eastern shore of the Mediterranean Sea. The country borders the Gaza Strip, the West Bank, Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, and Egypt. Israel's territory has historically been a magnet for great powers, from the Romans to the British. For a Mediterranean power, Israel can serve as a strategic land bridge. And for an Eastern power, control of Israel is necessary to secure its flank. Israel contains parts of 4 distinct topographical regions. The Negev is an extension of the Sinai Desert and accounts for more than half of Israel. The coastal plain.
That's what I be trying to tell niggas. Why would you even want to? Now, this is the only benefit of living in Israel. This shit right here. Because you could control a lot of trade and importation. But right here, half of your fucking country is a desert. People don't think about that kind of shit, man. Like, is this like this tropical, amazing place to live, nigga? A little bit of grass and shit right here, but let's let him continue to explain this bullshit.
It begins in the Gaza Strip and extends northwards to the border with Lebanon. The hill region extends from the foothills of Mount Hermon in the north.
Wow, it's so mountainous and shit. Like, nigga, I'd rather be from West Africa, nigga. It's lit. I'd rather be from a whole bunch of places in Africa.
Thanks.
To south of Jerusalem. The Jordan Rift Valley follows the length of the Jordan River and continues down to the Red Sea. Israel also claims the western 2/3 of the Golan Heights, a strategic plateau.
So look,
the country's core is in the coastal plain and the hill region.
This is what, and it's hard for me to mention this to niggas because everybody got different views, but it's like the Bible is what y'all using to prove y'all point. And me personally, I mess with the Bible, right? But I mess with it from a standpoint of how can I find meaning from this? I don't study it like a history book. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, how can I find meaning from this story, that story, this parable, the story of Christ? And then I connect the dots through history in the Bible. But I don't take it as a authoritative history text. So the people that's claiming to be Hebrew Israelites, when they make that claim, they're using a book that was written by a white man. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not even gonna say how I feel about it, what my view. Because
You know
my
what?
view.
This is what we'll do. We'll actually go fuck it. We'll give it.
Look,
We'll keep it. Let's be
but look,
raw
check
about it.
it out. These
Everybody
niggas,
go down the line and tell you how y'all feel about it. We'll start off with you, Rome. How you ain't even got to sugarcoat it. Well, if it's too raw, then you might want to sugarcoat it. You know, if you feel like you don't want to get canceled or shit, or you don't want to overly offend somebody. But go ahead. We'll go from you up to Dom, and then I'll finish it off and shit. Since you on the bottom, but go ahead, man. Let's hear your truth. Matter of fact, man. Listen, we gonna start the video from here, nigga. You know what I'm saying? We having this discussion about, because I don't know where it's at. This shit say 2 hours and 14 minutes. That's the only problem with this. It don't never reset the time. So, you know what I'm saying, man? We in here discussing this shit, man, about, you know, relations with blacks and Jews and just everything going on in this, around this subject matter, man. We gonna let's talk about it, bro. Since nobody else will dive in with us. How do you, and you know, you don't, y'all ain't got to sugarcoat it. I mean, y'all can do whatever y'all want to do, but if y'all want to go raw with it, man, be straightforward, man. So how you feel about this whole situation, Ron?
You know, like I said, bro, I feel like me personally, I don't use the Bible as a historical text. I use it like a self-help book. You know what I mean? I use it like it's one of the greatest self-help books ever written, but I don't use it like it's an Encyclopedia Britannica of history. And the brothers that claiming to be Hebrew Israelites and Jews and all of this shit, their arguments that they make for that, the foundation of that is the Bible, right? Now, the Bible, these Bibles was written by white men. Whether you, regardless of what your view is, belief is, everybody know Jesus was real, right? But we don't know what, you know, we don't know the interpretation that came from King James, from these niggas, from that. You see what I'm saying? We don't know what the Council of Nicaea, we don't know about all that. I mean, we do know about all that, but that's what makes some of us skeptical in regards to using that as a historical text and not like a allegorical text, right? So the brothers, they making that argument, but y'all don't trust the white man, but y'all trust this nigga to give y'all the history book. I don't understand that. That don't make sense to me. Now, if the Bible is 100% accurate, then yeah, we everything. You know what I'm saying? We the whatever you want to be. We the Jews, we the Israelites, but that's if the Bible is 100% accurate. But if you're going off the Bible and the Bible being 100% accurate, then you're really supposed to be a Christian, right? If the Bible is your authoritative text, then you're really supposed to be a Christian, nigga. Not a Hebrew, not a this, not a that, not a this, not a
That
that.
is two different things.
Come on.
I guess a Christian, it could still be a Jew, but a Christian is any person that's on the planet. And, you know, it's funny you say that, man. I don't know why a lot of black guys want to align themselves with Hebrews. One thing about Jewish people, man, you know what I'm saying, whether they want to admit that from their text, whether it's just, you know, like, because a lot of them are trying to debunk the Bible, even though the first 5 books of the Bible, of the Old Testament, is the Torah. They say we don't fuck with the Bible, we fuck with the Torah, but the first 5 books of the Bible is the Torah. You know what I'm saying? From Genesis, Leviticus, Deuteronomy, Numbers, and Exodus. That is the Torah.
And that's what everybody agrees on, whether it's Islam or what, everybody fucks with
Yeah,
that.
it's the God of Abraham, right? You know what I'm saying? The God of Abraham. That was the same prophet in each 3 books: the Torah, the fucking Quran, and the Bible. And you know what I'm saying? You know, first 5 books, the Pentateuch, the Torah, the Tanakh, whatever they want to call it. A Jew will debunk it and be like, we don't fuck with the Old Testament, we don't fuck with the Bible. And a lot of those Hebrew Israelites, because when they get into conversation and debates with these Jews, the Jews are telling me you guys listen to the Bible and we don't rock with the Bible. So they'll try to go off and get into the Torah or whatever. And I guess, you know what I'm saying, if it's in some type of Hebrew text, they'll try to say, well, some of these words couldn't be translated correctly, so it's not as accurate or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But those people, in my opinion, I mean, and I don't see how you can't get honor this. It was very racist, period. Whoever these Hebrew Israelites was racist. They was racist by, you know what I'm saying, what they believe God told them to be. You know, God told them that they was the chosen people, and you know what I'm saying, they can, nigga, they was doing a lot in them books. They in the Old Testament, they was raping, pillaging, killing off people, enslaving them, all that shit. So I don't know why anybody would want to be, you know, these Jews, you know?
Yeah.
That's my opinion. Like, but you know what I'm saying? We gonna let Dom say your piece, man. And if you want to be short or in depth, man, go in, because I'm gonna be in depth. So take your time, man. If you feel like you got a lot to say, man, go ahead and say that shit. If you done, Ron. Is you done with your thesis on that shit, or?
Go ahead. Just one more thing though, is like with Jesus, they be talking about Jesus, and like Jesus was a Hebrew. That's not the language that Jesus spoke. That's all I'm gonna say. It's not the language that Jesus spoke.
What's your point, Don?
Well, I think this whole I think a lot of this comes from um personally, I think a lot of it comes from pride and self-righteousness. And when I say pride and self-righteousness, that you have a group of people that want to believe that the chosen people of God. Okay. They want to wear it with a badge of honor. I think that's the biggest motivator behind anything, is if they believe that they're the chosen people of God, then they have some kind of hierarchy over the rest of the world. That's why they rep being Jewish so hard, because let's be real, the Holocaust happened to us 500 million times over again. So for them to put one period of people that got exterminated, shout out, I felt bad for them. That's horrible. The Nazis shouldn't have did that. But we've been being exterminated for all of our life. So I think it's all just a badge of honor just to call themselves the chosen people of God. Again, being Jewish, idiots, is a religion. It's not an ethnicity. Being black is an ethnicity. Being white is an ethnicity. Being Jewish is not an ethnicity. It's no more an ethnicity than being a Christian or Christianity, or being Muslim, which is a religion. It's not an ethnicity. So I don't get why people keep saying that they're Jewish and they're an ethnicity, because it's not. If you practice being Jewish, you could say you're Jewish because you have Jewish practices. My black ass can practice being Jewish, and I would be considered Jewish when it comes to religion. I would check that box. So I just think it's this pendant of honor that they're going to wear, because they want to believe in their head that they're the chosen people of God, because in their head it gives them a right passage to heaven, or whatever they want to feel like is after this.
Or they also, my bad. Go ahead.
But I mean, that's it. That's really, I just think it's that simple, and they just won't say it. But I think it's that simple.
What you about to say, Ron?
I was just gonna say it gives them a sense of entitlement too, when it comes to like how they can deal with other people.
Yeah, or you know, when you do, like, for example, I seen a guy like, hey man, you know, Kanye West is so rich and he's so up there that he know things that we wouldn't know. And I guess Kanye West know the heritage and you know what I'm saying, the religious background of a lot of guys that has economic power. I think that's the only thing that he know. Everything else he's conspiring about, right? And so yeah, these guys, it's a lot of Jews that's billionaires in America, and they got a lot of push and pull. You know what I'm saying? As we just looked at a couple of them on that list, you know what I'm saying? So in the case of a guy like Kanye West, I think he wants to have that kind of power and leverage, you know what I'm saying? And he would like for a lot more guys to be able to sit at the table. You know, $6 billion is a lot of money, but it's not a lot of money when, you know, every Jew got over $100 billion.
And you know what? I will say this, and I'm gonna shut up, Dewan. I'm gonna let you finish. You brought up an interesting point.
Oh, I mean, we talking, we rapping.
The problem, Kanye West, with that, and the reason why you can't have that much power, not only because you're not black, but you got to look at a guy like Michael Bloomberg. Michael Bloomberg got a contract to literally design Bloomberg, that literally controls the stock market. Like, so you making Adidas shoes and making Balenciaga t-shirts is not the same as you making computer software that controls the stock market for the United States of America. So until your product is that important, or you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? It's like, that's you making Adidas great. I'm glad we all got Adidas, and I'm glad he was making $330 million off. That's awesome. That's not the Bloomberg that controls the Bloomberg software that controls literally the stock market, which is literally the backbone of the American economic system. Those are two different things. You know, you can make the most music that everybody's banging. We can listen to Gold Digger till our neck falls off, but that's not the same thing. So you just won't have that type of power. Now, will we ever get a chance like that to make a software that can control the United States, American economic system? Probably not. And maybe that's what he's complaining about. But who gives a fuck? You have $1 billion. You're eating. Your kids are eating. Who cares?
It's funny.
Well, you know what? I think that he don't give a fuck.
Who? Kanye or you talking about Kanye? Like, what you mean by that though?
Like, man, I don't think he's the right messenger, but I think the nigga trying to help. And I think he like, yeah, nigga, my bag good, bruh. My bag good enough to where even if y'all niggas think I'm broke one day, I'ma still have fucking money. Yeah. So I'm talking my shit. Hopefully it sparked somebody. Y'all niggas might not need to be sparked. You know how when you don't need to be
talk
sparked,
down on niggas and then try to spark them up though. Like, you telling us you way richer than us, and then like, come on, man, you shitting on us, and then you fucking tearing on our confidence, and then gonna try to build us up. Pick a side, man. Damn.
Yeah, he's not the right messenger. He's not the right messenger. And the thing about it is, he bipolar. Another thing that I don't like when niggas say Kanye a genius. Even though I fuck Kanye,
we just said that in another video.
Yeah. I think that Kyrie is smarter than Kanye. Okay, now you got of intelligence. Kanye is a music genius, nigga. But when it comes like,
he's an innovative genius. He doesn't.
He's emotionally a child though.
Yeah, did we just say all that verbatim? Yeah, we just said everything you said verbatim. It was damn near like you was in the room or something, man.
It's like, bro,
his emotional intelligence is so low that you gotta, like, if you write, I say this all the time. A measure of true raw, and if we was to truly measure niggas' IQs, like, sometimes people even have like real like case studies, and scientists have a problem with even like IQ tests, right? But honestly, if you wanted to truly measure who was like, were you like, and even then, like, because there's so many different factors that take away from you. For example, you could look at a nigga like Giannis, right? And you be like, man, athletically, dog, with his genetic makeup, he's 6'11", the way he can move, his lateral skills, he should be the GOAT. But he just, his coordination just ain't. It will never be like of a Kyrie or Kobe Bryant or even a Kevin Durant. The way he can shoot the ball is just, he don't have that amount of skill set. And that's the same thing. It's like, yo, nigga, let's say that we all had to do something that we never did before, right? They put out this type of situation or this type of like this variable construct of a test that we all had to do that we had no idea, no history of doing. I'm not talking about a puzzle, because one of us could have been, playing video games for a long time or doing puzzles. So even though it's a puzzle we never did before, our brains still correlate to puzzles. You know, it's the same thing with like lifting weights, nigga. Some
Like
people
one
you
is better at reading at puzzles than everybody.
exactly. So you can't measure it like that. But like if basically what we talking about the neurological hardwiring to be able to tell how fast the brain can figure something out. For example, like I think like a lot of linguistics is geniuses. Like they used to have Russian spies go sit somewhere and he'd have to sit with a guy from Denmark or a guy from South Africa that speaks Swahili for them 3 weeks and he can figure out how to speak the language fluently. I think that's like, yo, that's crazy.
You just hit the nail on the head. What you're actually describing is the true measure of intelligence. When you're talking about if you take all things and make them equal, and you put us all in a room and you give a situation is literally this. What you're just saying is literally the ability to adapt to change. That's all. That is literally, if you take human intelligence at its core, you take out SAT tests, ACT tests, puzzles. The smartest people in business, in rooms, in sports, in anything are people that can adapt to change. The people that cannot adapt to change die off and fail in any situation. It don't matter if you're playing sports. It don't matter if you're in business. It don't matter if you're in school. It don't matter if you're in relationships trying to manage a network. If you cannot adapt to change, you're done. That is the true measure of intelligence.
And to build on that, also, for example, the reason why we can't respect certain people as like geniuses, we can respect them as intellectuals. Like Kanye West is an intellectual.
And I think
like you said, he's smart at certain things, but
he's smart.
He's so bad emotionally. His emotional intelligence is so low that it lowers his score as a true genius.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So let's say that me and you, let's say Dom is a monster at taking the SATs, monster at test taking, but he's horrible. He's damn near, childlike with problem solving. You know what I'm saying? That's going to lower his spectrum. And so it's kind of like LeBron James doesn't have the best dribbling package, bro. He don't have the best jump shot. He don't have the best, you know what I'm saying? But when you across the board, LeBron James can be fucked with because he's an X. He had a 9-10 out of passing. I would say he had 9-10 out of passing. He had 10 at finishing at the rim. You know what I'm saying? He had 7 at free throws. He literally got 70% career percentage at shooting at the free throws. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We'll say he's a 7 overall shooter, period. We ain't gonna, what I'm saying, 40%, 30% at the damn 3-point line. I don't think he's no 40% career shooter, but it's nothing that he can't do at a high level. He can't, you know what I'm saying? We're not gonna compare his handles to Kyrie Irving, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, keep it a bag. Think about your friends, Ron. Think about Juan. Think about your network. Think about people that you grew up with. And think about if we're going to use money as a measure of success, let's just use that. Let's just say that's one marker. We're just going to make that up. Think about people that have not adapted to change from 2011 to 2022 and look at where they're at.
Yep.
Think about
it. A lot of times that be because of their emotional intelligence. They refuse to.
There you go.
That's why you can't have another reason you can't have an intellectual conversation because these motherfuckers ain't open-minded enough. They'll be like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, nigga talking about, for example, you know what I'm saying? Both of y'all niggas I would consider intellectuals, right? So the reason why I struggle with this shit, bro, and I can go in like a real deep, because I was just telling Rachel in the car, like, yo, man, like, I just wouldn't watch Wakanda forever. And I was like, man, I really struggle with African history, man. It'd be very disheartening, man. It'd be such a letdown. For example, y'all know the story of Wakanda. They the strongest and most powerful African nation because they got vibranium and shit like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, man, the correlation that Hollywood get from actual like real shit is funny. It's almost like a joke. Because in reality, Wakanda is some hidden city in Africa, right? But the continent of Africa is the most richest continent of resources on the planet. That's facts.
Yeah,
we got the most platinum, the most gold, diamonds, jewel, and gold and oil. Oil. All of our billionaires is billionaires because they just happen to have the most access to oil. They ain't they ain't billionaires because they some type of tech genius and none of that shit. Them niggas just got a lot of oil. They got a lot of resources, right?
Right.
So, you know, everything y'all said is facts about this Jewish shit, bro. It's people that's jealous because they making a correlation of what happened to these individuals called the Hebrews out of the Bible in Exodus. You know what I'm saying? And they wanna tie themselves to it from, you know what I'm saying, Leviticus and Deuteronomy and shit based on, you know, how God feel about these people. You know what I'm saying? And they make the correlation based on, you know what I'm saying, the this slave trade that happened, that these Jews got enslaved and shipped to Egypt, even though, you know what I'm saying, Black Americans was in a transatlantic slave trade, but they trying to make a correlation like, oh, if it was anybody in bondage for 400 years, it was us. So how the fuck could it be some white people or some shit like that? And, you know, I guess based on, you know, these Hebrews existed about 2,000 years ago. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, bro, I said it on my story yesterday. I know y'all seen it, man. I really do, man. I study anthropology like a motherfucker. I have always studied it. And I'm talking about cultural anthropology, linguistic anthropology, biological anthropology. One thing about it is, and I'm not sitting here to debunk nobody's religion, not to be, you know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is, you know what I'm saying? The problem with religion at times is it's not falsifiable. So we can sit here and conspire to have truth about certain things, but if we don't have facts about it, we can't sit around and just straight up ignore everything else. Like, no, nigga, there's facts. And the problem with religion is, like I said, these Hebrews supposed to have existed like 2,000 years ago. The context of what's going on is so random. You know what I'm saying? It's all over the place. Hebrews lived 2,000 years ago. The Bible say that humans is only 6,000 to 8,000 years ago. But
it's like, man, that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't like talking about it, because you almost got to debunk the Bible. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? You bringing that up, it's like, come on, you got to debunk the Bible because they bringing that up and they arguing about that shit. And I ain't trying to, I get it. You right, bro. I ain't trying to debunk the Bible. I don't want to do that. I'm not doing that. I'm not debunking the Bible.
Because when you do that, then the motherfuckers try to think that you don't find value in it.
It's like, but what do you believe in? Do you believe that well, how can that not be? It's so many ways to argue about that or even be fucked. It was like, you believe you the chosen people of God. These Hebrews, these special people of God existed 2,000 years ago. First off, nigga, you know, me and Don talked about. I'm like, bro, I mean, they could have been. Listen, we see where Israel is. Israel is right next to Egypt, man. You know what I'm saying? I believe the inhabitants of Egypt 2,000 years ago was Neolithic Africans, man. Neolithic Africans or Kushite Africans. Kushite Africans are the same thing as Neolithic Africans. They just Africans they've been mixing with those Middle Easterners, whoever right there off the Mediterranean Sea. And at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Whoever these individuals and it's like they not us today, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? They not us today. It don't really matter, in my opinion. But if you do believe in the Bible and you believe in historical context as far as the Bible, that matters to you. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, what you about to say?
Yeah, I think it really does come from, I think the whole Jewish thing in 2022 from them on their end, and they're not going to say this, but I think it comes from an entitlement that makes you feel like, hey, they're not saying it, but everybody that is educated knows when you say you're Jewish, we know what you're trying to call yourself. Like, yeah, we know what you're calling yourself when we say it. I know y'all not going out and saying it every time. So I think it's more of protecting that and then honestly think about this on the this is bad, Dewan, but people are human, so they're all sinners. It allows them to also operate and do super unethical things too, because they believe that the chosen people of God, so they're going to wherever the greater place in their head is anyway. So that a lot, I think it's more of that, and you guys can't belong to that. We're the chosen people of God. We're not giving that away. You guys can't belong to that. And again, it's an ethnicity. If you look at Egypt, which is right next to Israel, and you go to them damn pyramids, and those pyramids are painted, there is a bunch of black hieroglyphics in those pyramids right next door. Okay. So it's not such a stretch to believe that them people could be descendants of Jews. But my point is, who gives a okay, like who cares? But it's not a stretch to think that right next to, okay, people aren't familiar with this, but Detroit, Michigan, there's Detroit, and then you got what, Harper Woods right next door. Why would it be so crazy to think that the people of Detroit couldn't also cohabitate in Harper Woods? It's not a stretch. Them people in them pyramids are black. The hieroglyphics, them are black people doing this on the wall. Think I'm playing. They look like the Michael Jackson video when they was in there like this. They're black doing this on the dang wall. So I'm just saying, I think all of this has to come from, we're claiming the religion of we are the chosen people of God. You guys are not. So stop saying that. And that's where the friction is coming. They're just not going to come out and say that. And at the end of the day, what I'm saying is, who gives it? I don't care about none of that.
Man, yeah, man. Okay. All right, so you're right. These other niggas who really don't care about it either, they just mad because they feel like black people is broke and they getting controlled, and these white motherfuckers or these Jewish people, whoever, got all this economic power over the black voice and all this other bullshit, and they weaponizing, toxic rap music to destroy the black community and all this other crazy shit.
It's like that shit's true, but it's a limited belief at the same time.
Yeah. I feel like this, man. I feel like this, dog. This is what the fuck I feel like. I feel like, nigga, whoever these motherfuckers was 2,000 years ago don't matter, because that has nothing to do of why Jews in America are economically dominant. I feel like these Jews in America are economically dominant because, for one, like I said, Israel is located in a very specific place. The Middle East is full of mixed race individuals, period. They're not one race people. I consider only a few races of people to be one race, kind of. And the reason I feel like all races are.
Well, I would argue with this, and this is no disrespect. I mean this in like a biological way. I mean, you could say some of the Asian culture, if you actually look, a lot of the Asian culture, some of them are just Vietnamese. Some of them are just Chinese. You know what I mean? Some of them are just Japanese.
Yeah, but you could tell, like, whoever they are, like these. So that's the good example. Like these Japanese, all of them derived from them Asian peninsula. You know what I'm saying? They all are Asian. Like, you could tell if I looked at a Vietnamese and a Chinese motherfucker, I could make a correlation that they're Asian.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's the same thing with us black people. Like, I see this with a lot of like white anthropologists. A lot of white anthropologists almost try to say like Africans are not black. You know what I'm saying? Because Africa has the most racial disparity all through Africa. They'll try to say like a Bantu African is different than a non-ethnic African. And I'm telling them as a black guy, we do not see them as like they're a different race, nigga. We just know that they're a different type of African.
Yeah, we know they're different.
Like when we look at like Thom Maker or Boy or what I'm saying, one of them kind of guys, we don't look at them super tall ass Africans. Or Rob Igubawa. We don't look at Rob Igubawa and say that nigga ain't us. We know that they, you know what I'm saying? Same way we look at a Jamaican or something like that. We know we're black, that nigga Jamaican, but we definitely still identify them as black. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why they try to make that distinction. They try to make that distinction because these people, the difference between Europeans and even Asians, what Africans was they definitely stayed in a certain part of Africa for they way more is different. Africans are indigenous to different parts of Africa. You know what I'm saying? They didn't really sit in once. They didn't really travel all through Africa like that, as far as how Europeans did. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And you know, people want to attest to that, man. People want to be, you know, some kind of like hold on, man. I gotta record this. This little thing on my phone. Oh shit. But you know, man, when you look at Africa, dog, Africa is the biggest continent on the fucking. Is Africa the biggest continent on the planet?
Yeah. Right.
When you look at Africans, right?
As far as landmass, yeah.
Yeah, landmass. The thing about it though is the landmass is the biggest from north to south. When you look at like Europe, Europe is biggest. You know what I'm saying? Measure is going to be from east to west, the same way as North America is going to be. Its biggest measurement is going to be from east to west. And these people got an advantage, especially in Europe. They had an advantage in Europe. It was a disadvantage, but it was an advantage at the same time. Their advantage was that they was able to travel and connect with each other. You know what I'm saying? And
That's
like I
the
said,
same Atlanta got.
you said what?
It's the same advantage Atlanta got. It's like a logistic advantage
Yeah.
to where
So
we can get there. We can get everywhere quicker. So it ended up being, that's why the airport, that's why we got the biggest international airport, because it's like that's why I like Atlanta got the most drug dealers, because you can get it from up north, you can get it from Texas, you can get it without even having to fly. You can drive everywhere. So
what? Yeah, y'all do got it. You got on 75 and shit like that. Good
Yep.
boy sitting in here.
But DeJuan, you were saying it was a disadvantage too, because America, if you look, when we came and we got our independence, we actually had an advantage because we were actually isolated from everywhere. See, being connected also means that you got to defend your shit all the damn time, constantly, 24 hours. Somebody's always trying to get your border. We're so isolated that we can see it coming while it's coming. So, for instance, Europe has to literally come across the Atlantic Ocean to attack us. We got time. But guess what? France doesn't have to do to Britain. France could just walk, like literally go over to Britain or Italy or any of those other countries, Spain. They could just literally, their borders are all connected. So they always can battle. So it made sense. You see DeJuan, you see they formed NATO. You see why they formed NATO. They realized like we're all so small and connected, we might as well unify, because Russia and these bigger entities will just come and take us over. That's why they did that. And NATO together is just as powerful as the United States by themselves. And I would say not for real, but you know what I mean. They had to actually form NATO to even include us in it. But if they didn't, we could still beat NATO. You know what I'm saying? Like if we take America is NATO.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's the whole advantage of being on it.
That you are NATO. So that's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna tell y'all some real gangster shit. I'm gonna tell y'all some shit from like I said, from an anthological standpoint, man. Africa, bro. Africa, a lot of these super, and these niggas think we stupid. Like you got guys like Ben Shapiro, he think we stupid. It's a lot of like white scientists think we primitive and we ain't as smart as they are. Hey, that's why that teacher was like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why that damn teacher, I think Don, wasn't that you, Don, who posted that damn teacher? Somebody posted a teacher.
What teacher?
It was a teacher who made a comment saying that whites are the superior race.
Yeah, that was me. No, I posted it. I'm gonna run in the restroom. Yeah, that was me.
It's like this, bro.
Watch out, boy.
I forgot you got that. How many dogs you got now, Ron?
Who?
I'll wait till Don come back to rap about it. You got two now? They get along?
They do now.
They ain't get along at first?
Hell no. The older one wasn't fucking with the puppy. You know what I'm saying? He was on some get away from me type shit. You know what I'm saying?
So what, he'd be walking up on him, getting on it, like getting in his ass, or he'd be like, or the little
Yeah.
one kept trying to be his friend, and he'd like
No,
snap at him.
the younger one bigger than him, so he'd be trying to play with him and shit, and the little nigga would be the older one that's little would be like on some get away from me type shit.
Shit
But
funny as hell.
he still be on that get away from me shit though, cause like he just too big, man. My man about 70 pounds, and the other one like how much Segway? Like 18 pounds.
17.
Yo, what's good?
What's good, my boy?
Nah, man, I'm about to drop a video about the sexual underworld, man, and my experiences. I was editing that shit. Well, I'm still editing it right now. I was listening to it because I don't want to drop no, Mr. Quality and nothing like that.
Oh yeah. Definitely want to be on point, my nigga.
Say it again.
So you definitely want to be on point,
Hell yeah, man. So that's pretty much, what I'm doing right now. Sifting through, make sure everything good and chopped up. The volume is good and everything, but it's only like 2 videos I seen about the sexual underworld, man. Stealth and the dude that I fuck with, well, and Ron Wills too, but I'm gonna go ahead and put my little 2 cents in too.
I think Ron Wills is the one who came up with that terminology.
Hey, he come up with a whole lot, man, to be honest.
He cold with it. Like Ron Wills.
So look, I want y'all to check out motherfucker named Tyler Durden when y'all get a chance. It's a white boy. I think he might have been one of the first people to use that term. I heard him use it too.
Well, sexual underworld?
Yeah. Basically, it's the type of shit where like a nigga like me can't even speak to a regular nigga about that type of world because they won't even believe the shit type shit. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, definitely.
Like about how easy it is to fuck a bad bitch type shit. Like right, like you niggas think you gotta take her on a date and do all this. No, you don't. Right? Not when you're in the sexual underworld, nigga. Right? You can meet and beat. You niggas be doing all that crazy ass shit, right? That's what y'all talking about.
Man, they talking
Nah,
about,
pretty much just like the dark fantasies and dark, you know what I'm saying, the shit that they want and desire sexually.
Yeah.
More so.
You gonna talk about how women like secretly have like rape fantasies,
get pissed on and shit.
How niggas white, how married women be getting popped off and all that kind of shit. So.
Yeah, pretty much, man.
Hornier than
and it's crazy that a lot of niggas, man, they be in positions where it's like they want to be like a Romeo to a female and shit, and then she'll go to a nigga that's a gorilla. You feel me? Like, nigga, I done spit on a bitch, spit in the mouth. Hot damn, I done a lot of.
Say you shit on a bitch.
Nah.
I thought you were like, what, nigga?
Oh, I was like,
I ain't never done it.
Nah. Ain't that what you thought he said, bro?
Yeah, I was like,
nah.
This nigga shit on bitches.
Done that. Hell nah. Ain't never done no shit like that. That's some white boy shit, man.
Oh, don't say that. You gonna get canceled. That's the Jews, man.
Yeah, but nah, man, like golden showers.
We stopped that.
I've done that before.
Yeah.
Like, no, man, I'm just saying, I had a nigga want to pay me to fuck his female. He was like, he'll pay me a band to fuck his woman, bro. But I declined that shit because it was out in Idaho, huh?
He had to be white.
He was white, and he was like, he'd just pay me to fuck his woman and everything. And I declined it because I'm like, man, this is the first time somebody ever said this shit to me. Like, what the fuck? I'm thinking it's some setup shit. Hell nah. I just felt like, nigga might try to get me in there, and try to kidnap my ass.
Right.
Hell nah. So I declined that shit. But he said some shit like, if you're not down to do it, just make sure you keep it to yourself because I have an image to maintain. So it's like these niggas be out here with like faces. These bitches be having faces and everything, man, and images to portray, and they don't want to fuck it up.
You see, hey, you ain't see that. So peep this. You ain't see that special sin. If you get a chance, go on Hulu. So I didn't even know this. So my graduate degree is from Liberty University. I didn't even know this at the time. The dude in 2016 that was the president of the university, rich guy, biggest Christian, Liberty University is the biggest Christian college in the United States. Steph Curry's brother went there before he went to Duke. And so he had this whole sex scandal where him and his wife was smashing some dude from Miami, some pool boy. And it all came out and blew up. And he was the president of Liberty University. And that's what he was doing. He told him.
He was fucking them too?
Say what now?
He was fucking them too?
No. It was I think what happened was to start off where he just asked him to smash his wife, and then it escalated to him kind of like beating his meat in the corner, and then it would even escalate to like they both would smash the wife. You know,
that's
what I'm
some crazy shit.
Yeah,
and I think that's some like psychological trauma shit. That nigga must have been addicted to porn if you think about it. Because why would a nigga want to sit down and beat off to another nigga fucking his woman? It has to be some addiction to porn or something, bro.
Hey, he was a Donald Trump supporter. He was helping Donald Trump win his political campaign, and then Donald Trump had to drop him once the scandal came out. So check it out on Hulu. Like it's real. Like check that out. We get a chance.
Damn, boy, that's some shit right there, boy. I done been in a lot of situations, man. Like I just don't even talk about it, man. I had a girl when I was like 6 years old, man. She was in high school. I remember she was in high school. She used to walk me to the bus every day, give me a kiss on my lips before I got on the bus and shit. I was like 14, like no, 12. And a grown ass woman, bad black female, used to always bring me chocolate and shit every day. And she invited me to her house one day. This is one female, but then her mom ended up coming home and she told me I had to leave or whatnot. And I never knew what the fuck it meant, but now I'm older, I know what the fuck was going on. And I had another female do me like that. She took a shower and everything and had a fat ass and shit, got out the shower and was telling me to sit down and, you know, she was going to get dressed and everything. And I'm like, nigga, I'm like a kid, nigga. I'm scared. I don't know what the fuck about to go on. So I'm like, man. And I was living in the projects at this time. And I was like, man, in my mind, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And she told me to come in the house. I don't know why the fuck I went in there. Maybe because I was attracted to her. But other than that, man, I have a lot more stories, man. It's just it's that sexual underwear is crazy, bro. That's crazy, man. Wow. But what y'all talking about, man? Because I was wanting to hop on because you sent me that shit, and I didn't want to be like, oh, he sent. I don't want to have no bad blood in us. So I was let me hop on.
You good, man? We busy. We sent it to a couple of people, man. We on here discussing this Jewish shit, man. All this shit, man.
Hey, man, you went into depth the other day, man. Like, it's like at times I be wanting to learn shit, and then it's like I start reading it, and then like my eyes not doze off, but it's like my mind dozes off, and I have to try to make myself focus. And it's like I'm like, how the fuck do I just sit here and retain all this information and shit? I realize that it's like certain things that I want to learn, I can attain or obtain the information, or it sits in my mind. But when it comes down to shit where it's like I'm trying to force myself to learn something, it's like I can't, hey, you know.
You feel like that shit ain't gonna make you no money, right?
I don't know, man. It's just I think it's just natural, man. It's not just like a book.
I think you gotta take it like you gotta learn everything a day at a time, man. You can't force you can't learn all that shit all at the same time.
This is my small little library right here, man. I read most of them, but like the Rama Tamasi shit, I tried to get into both of these, and it was like a popular book, and I was like, man, I can't even get into this shit.
Might not have no interest in it. You feel me?
That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
Might not
if it don't move you, don't gotta read it. That's how I feel.
And I got this shit right here too.
You could gain a lot of lessons, dog, from books. You could gain a lot of, like, for example, like I'm telling you, gang, I just left the movies watching Wakanda Forever 2. And
yeah,
I'm like, man, wouldn't it have been nice, dog, if that was the facts? Because it could have been a fact. It could have been a fact to a certain extent.
Let's check it out. It's a metaphor.
Yeah, it's a metaphor. It could have been like that, but it's almost like it's Hollywood that made the movie, so it's like they kind of throwing it in your face, like, y'all niggas suck.
Y'all niggas got the vibranium and don't even know what to do with it.
It's over. I'm gonna tell you why it. In 1,000 years, bro, I'm telling you, in 1,000 years, White people still gonna be on the top. The black people gonna still be on the bottom.
Hey, baby girl.
It's
That's
fucked up.
that's if the
Hey, come here.
world is still different colors.
I think it's still gonna be different colors. I think because of Africa. I thought about it today. Africa, they ain't gonna. For one, we got a high
Take
HIV
this in
rate
there,
over
Rick,
there. They never gonna fuck those people.
rinse it out for me.
America is not gonna be.
Baby girl,
America is
say
gonna
that
be
enough.
pretty. America is gonna be a brown mixed ass race. I just said that about me and Don was saying that. Now listen, that's what I was saying. I'm saying white is still gonna be at economic and dominance and prominence, nigga. Black's gonna be at the bottom, but that don't mean that your family is gonna be poor. Your family might be a white family in 1,000 years, nigga. You know what I'm saying? That might be what it is. But when you look at it, dog, it's not even close how powerful Africa could have been versus the world. But what I said, nigga, like I said, when you study anthropology, nigga, you will understand that logistically, Africa was fucked when we was primitive based on us being separated by different biodomes.
They easy to attack. They was easy to attack too.
I mean, I'm listen.
Is it because of the weaponry?
No, I'm gonna explain. When you look at Africa, right, from east to west and north to south, nigga, where it sit at, the bottom half of Africa, like it's not even like a split. The whole half of it is on the equator. The bottom half of it is like the tail of it covers the equator, right? So you got that big ass, the big ass Nile River. You got the Amazon. You got a big ass tropical rainforest, forest like the bottom, like in the Congo area. You got two big ass deserts. You got the Sahara Desert. You got that, you know what I'm saying? Then, nigga, you got a little bit of grassland region and shit like that over to the left. You know what I'm saying? That's in West Africa. Then, like, so in Northern Africa, and at the top, nigga, you got that motherfucking big ass Sahara Desert. And then you see all them deserts like around the Middle East and shit, right? So what I'm saying is this, bro. When you look at Africa today, Africa got the most languages. It got the most ethnic. You got the most different languages, right? It got the most motherfucking, they saying genetically ethnic different people, right? You got the most religious, the most everything there. What does that show you? That shows you separatism. Africans lost the motherfucking, the chase, nigga, for world economics, nigga, and dominance based off our geographical location, nigga, where we was located. Nigga, what happened was because, nigga, in primitive years, nigga, for one, we could survive based off where we was located. Middle Easterns couldn't do that, wherever those niggas were. Because they lived in the desert, they always migrated. They always traveled. The hunter-gatherers there never stayed there because they couldn't stay there, nigga. So that's the same thing with those Europeans from Southern Europe and all that kind of shit. They always traveled and migrated. When you over there in the desert and shit, you don't live there forever. That's another thing about Israel. Israel got half a desert. When there's a desert, nobody's going to stay there for that long. So who the fuck was these niggas 2,000 years ago? It depends. It always been a lot of different people. It's always going to be Europeans, Asians, and Africans. When you look at the Middle East, that's a mixed group of people of Europeans, Asians, and Africans. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at Africa, on your west coast of Africa, you got Bantu Africans, right? Before the great migration of Bantus. On the south of Africa, you got Nihilistic Africans. That's the tall, real dark niggas. They were on the south and the east of Africa. And then on the other side, you got the Kushite Africans. That's the niggas that look like Nipsey Hussle. That's the Ethiopians. That's the Somalians, all them motherfuckers, right? You could tell like they pretty much genetically like Nihilistic Africans. They call them Nihilistic Africans because they was just these tall African niggas they seen by the Nile River, right? Then you got the Khoisan Africans. That's the little short Asian looking niggas. You know what I'm saying? Now, you're going to have a whole bunch of subgroups out of that. That's why I say I only consider so many different people indigenous humans. Everybody else is a subgroup of that. So what I consider a subgroup is some niggas that mix with some other niggas. So it might be like small little tribes and shit Bantu Africans that's mixing with non-elected Africans, or non-elected Africans that was mixing with Khoisan Africans. If you look at a nigga like, for example, look at Barack Obama's dad, or look at Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela, you could tell he got Khoisan heritage. That's why his eyes is real Asian and chinky looking, but he tall as hell. That's non-elected. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas is they say on average they're about like 6'2", even the females. You know what I'm saying? That's why they always be models and shit and track runners and shit. So what happens is all of us we ain't communicating with each other. We don't talk with each other. We don't trade because we don't fucking see each other. We're separated by deserts, fucking tropical rainforests, and all kind of shit, right? Europe is not like that. That's why they all look the same too. When you get humans mixing with each other, there's two things they're gonna do when they cohabitate with each other. They're gonna kill each other and they're gonna fuck each other. So all the motherfucking Europeans is going to war all the time. They fighting and killing each other and they fucking each other. You know what I'm saying? So they trading with each other because they have to survive. You know what I'm saying? They communicating with each other. Even when you look at the languages, like when you study linguistics and shit, these motherfuckers. When you look at like Spanish and Italian and shit, it be a language built off another language. That's why they have a lot of correlation in their languages and shit like that. Like for example, like Hebrew and shit, it sounds like it's just built off like Arabic and shit like that, right? So they have a lot of similarities in a language. For example, like American language and Jamaican language, right? Mm-hmm. So the reason why I say we was fucked in any type of context, nigga, is because at the end of the day, before the 1700s, nigga, or really like I'll say when I guess when the West Africa had that Mali Empire, they said that they had an empire that stretched all the way to East Africa. So I'll say before the 14th century, nigga, these people did not fuck with each other. So because they didn't fuck with each other, what happens? These people got different heritage, different backgrounds. They got different ways of communication, different languages. They believe in different, you know what I'm saying, just a whole different type of way of life, right? So the only way to get everybody to think the same way, to believe in the same type of government, the same kind of God, the same kind of everything, the same kind of way of life, is you kind of got to conquer those motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So the only way that Africa could have been a superpower is if our biggest civilization will have colonized and conquered all the rest of the civilizations in Africa. They wasn't going to come together, bro, because at the end of the day, they don't know them. They don't believe in the same shit. They don't have the same way of life. They're not about to get together and be like, hey, all right, now, if we was to come to them in the 21st century and tell them like, hey, bro, if y'all don't come together, like, for example, if a nigga came through in a time machine right now, or like, let's say we all four of us got on a time machine and went to Africa in a 12th century, but we have to grab them other niggas too. We have to go grab some niggas from Ethiopia. You know what I'm saying? We had to go grab that nigga Rob.
Like a meet and greet.
We had to grab them niggas, like, look, bro, we about to go talk to these niggas. I'm gonna talk to my niggas. You talk to your nigga. You talk to them niggas. Y'all we gonna put them together. They're gonna shake hands. We gonna need y'all to unite. Listen, we ain't stripping none of y'all religions, none of that shit, but y'all gonna have to start speaking the same fucking language. We gonna all teach y'all English, all right? Listen, we're gonna unite this mother. That's kind of what Gaddafi was trying to do. We're gonna unite this motherfucker and make it. We're gonna make this motherfucking whole continent one country.
Right.
So everybody, because what it is when you look at Wakanda, right? Wakanda was a city or it was a country within in Africa. So the vibranium, man, yeah, Africa got the most amount of resources on the continent, but that don't mean they all in the same place, nigga. So you might have a lot of oil. I might have a lot of platinum. You might have a lot of diamonds. I might have a lot of, agriculture, meaning like fruits and vegetables and, tropical fruits and shit like that. When you have a lot of resources, you can have a strong economy because you have shit to sell. You know what I'm saying? Or you got shit that people need, right? But you got to have autonomy on that shit. So if you, let's say that if we united this motherfucker as this continent as a country, it don't matter if those niggas over there fucked up because they got a desert. It's like that's what happens. It's like, yo, we understand. It's just like Detroit. You kind of bail out, certain neighborhoods and shit like that because everybody got to pay taxes and shit like that. We will create a capitalistic society and it will be classism, but at least it won't be racism, right? Because we're gonna identify everybody as a. Now, granted, it might be some type of prejudice though, right? Because at the end of the day, but I don't think with black people it wouldn't be no prejudice. It might be prejudice where it's always gonna be a little stupid shit where it's like, oh, somebody liking these light skinned motherfuckers more than a dark skinned motherfucker. Because it's the continent of Africa, I think the reverse will happen. I think it might be more prejudice on light skinned motherfuckers. It is what it is, though. You know what I'm saying? We'll have black liberals and shit that'll try to advocate for light skinned people and white motherfuckers and shit like that. But that was the only way. It's when I'm telling you that, and then we have to have a super, super duper strong ass military. Well, our military will be dumb, nigga. For one, continent of Africa is huge. But two, if we was able to have autonomy on all our resources and shit like that, it would have been popping. But like I said, the only way that would have happened is if another African power would have colonized and conquered all the other ones. So it would have been, obviously, it would have had to been the strongest empire, and the strongest empire would have had to unify it. It would have had to teach everybody the same language. It would have made everybody follow the same morale and principles and ethics and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of like the
That's
Bible.
why it's been so many civil wars in motherfucking Africa. Like it was a civil war in Nigeria, nigga, within like the 1960s. Because, nigga, the three tribes of Africa, you could ask fucking Mo about this. They didn't believe in they didn't have the same backgrounds and shit like that. So they was beefing over what should be the prominent or dominant religion and what way of life should be more, you know what I'm saying, this way or that way. It was the Yoruba, the fucking, I forgot the other two tribes and shit. But that's what I'm saying. What happens is, let's say, this is how you could know it'll be a civil war. Let's say the LGBT blacks was the niggas who was the most dominant of the country. You know what I'm saying? Niggas would be trying to go to war with them motherfuckers. Like, yo, man. And they was opposing their will on it. Like, yo, we're going to teach everybody. We're going to teach all your kids about gay rights. We're going to teach your kids to love. What if they even push it like, we want your kids to, just explore himself. Like, you know what I'm saying? See if he's attracted to these men or these boys, or, you know what I'm saying? See if your girl's attracted. You know what I'm saying? Niggas, and that's how serious they take that. Now, we'll look at it and be like, hey, man, it's just a couple different religions. It literally was just Islam and Christianity. Why the fuck is y'all tripping about that? But they looking at it as like, hey, man, you trying to teach my son to accept.
That's a different story.
Yeah, you try to teach my son to accept some gay shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's a different story for me.
Sexuality and religion are two different things, if you think about it.
I'm saying some religious some religious practices might, you know what I'm saying? That's how serious it was. It was this real shit. Y'all could Google it. Nigga, it was literally civil wars in Nigeria and shit like that.
You know what else too, Dewan? We missed the boat too, unfortunately, because we missed the innovation boat from when the European countries were fighting each other, they were learning from each other. They would literally fight each other and be like, damn, them niggas cannon is this big. I'm gonna get a cannon that shoots 3 of these bitches out of here. So they kept doing that and innovating. We missed that whole boat of innovation.
We never went to war. Like, West Africans didn't go to war with South Africans.
Yeah.
We didn't even meet each other because it's a big ass tropical rainforest. Another thing about it, we didn't have to innovate. We didn't have to innovate because we didn't need to innovate to survive. We just missed the boat. We was blessed with fruitful land. You know what I'm saying? They had to innovate. They had dangerous winters and shit like that. They had famine, disease all the time. They cattle they herd, the way they ate, migrated all the time. Like I said, they couldn't even stay in one spot. That's why even as you're right, they started building institutions and they started teaching each other about how to kill each other and all that kind of shit. Then over time, that's why when they kept having children and having empires and shit with kings and queens, they would keep marrying each other to keep economic power because they needed to. Because, nigga, we need to trade with these people. We need to have relations with them because it might be a time where we have famine here or we have, you know what I'm saying, nigga, it ain't like we just had they have way more seasons and shit like that. We ain't gonna have food and all this kind of shit all the time. We was blessed with the way we was blessed with that good ass land. It made us docile. It didn't, you know what I'm saying?
We weren't imperialist. We did not have the mentality like I would say the European countries. They weren't leaving South Africa and was like, you know what? Let's go up to Spain and let's go see what them niggas got. Like no one was doing that. We
That's
did.
what I'm saying. We didn't have to. Our land was so good. But that's what I'm saying. These white scientists and all these and like the racist motherfuckers that try to say like we wasn't innovative and all that shit because we was stupid and we got primitive brains and the African brain is different than the cocaine. It's like, no, nigga, we just didn't have to, motherfucker. We had our fruit was growing on trees.
Right.
We drinking the best water and all that shit. The only thing you want to know was fucked up. The only thing that we fought about was women.
Yep.
It's about, hey man, you know what I'm saying? We'll fight over that. And maybe, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you had a better geographical location in this same city that we live in. And maybe you got more, you know what I'm saying, more cattle, more herd, more motherfucking agriculture that's a little bit better on that side. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That same practice is put in the streets. The reason why people gang man kill each other over corners and shit like that is because the logistics of that corner just might be better. Nigga, y'all niggas getting way more traffic for crackheads and shit over there. Like that is literally, that shit been going on since primitive human behavior, nigga. That's just how it is. It's somebody's going to have something better, nigga. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You born, you know what I'm saying? That's why the Middle East was so violent. That's why them Arabics are so violent. They literally live in the fucking desert and mountains. They got to go kill some shit to survive. Nigga, Africans was chilling. Like, no, nigga, we got fruit, we got tropical weather, and we got a big ass body of water. We good. Why would we travel from here? We never had to travel. You gotta travel when you got famine and you got disease. When you got famine, what happens? If you hunting animals to live, the animals leave because there's nothing left there for them to eat. So they gotta go travel to where they can find, you know what I'm saying, actual agriculture to eat. When, you know what I'm saying, nigga, that wasn't happening that much in Africa. So niggas didn't travel. So when you didn't travel, when you chilling and shit like that.
And we do it. You know what's so funny? You know what I love about like what you say about anthropology? Guess what? We do the same thing now. Do you know how many people live in Detroit that never been on the other side? I'm serious. This is gonna sound absolutely crazy. You know how many people live in Detroit that literally don't know where US 23 is?
No, it's facts.
Like I'm not making this up. They lived here for 30 years and they don't know where US 23 is, which is a problem.
It's a problem.
It's a problem.
If you do not have relationships and you do not go, like you can't innovate.
Yeah,
I could go meet a nigga. Bro, I want to meet people. That's what I say. It's not even from an anthropological standpoint, bro. That's why racism is really stupid as fuck. It's dumb as hell. It don't even make sense, nigga, from a scientific standpoint. But it does make sense from a social construct standpoint.
Right.
That's why I said whites will always be. I don't know who's gonna be at the top in 1,000 years, but the way it's looking, it's like it's still gonna be white people. But I say that to say this. Yeah, from a sociological standpoint, as far as like, you know what I'm saying, socioeconomic, sociopolitics, nigga, you know what I'm saying, anything pertaining to that, then of course. And then, you know, I was watching Wakanda. In reality, nigga, no disrespect, I love it's white people that I love to death. But I was watching Wakanda forever. I was like, the reason why I think it's still gonna be black people in the future and all this other shit is because niggas love being black. I was like, hold on, niggas love being black. You know what I'm saying? Just love that shit. So at the end of the day, but without blacks, as far as the thing what this black community shit is, you will never see a dominant black people are going to have to turn themselves into a subgroup of black people. The black community is too broad. It's too many people that's tied into it that do not believe in the same shit, that do not care about, they don't have the same principles, morals, ethics. They don't give a fuck about the same things. So because of that, that's why the black community will always lose.
You're saying there's too many, like, yeah, it's too many.
5% video you sent me, and yeah, remember like that's the thing about one thing about these Jews that's in power is they got European phenotypes. They got European, of course, they phenotypically European, but they identify as a nation of Zionists as Jews. So
LG.
What up, though?
I ain't want to cut you off. I'm about to get myself situated, hot down, get ready for work in the morning, man. Well, I got to go
All right.
to the gym at 4 a.m. and I'm
Get
going to
with me,
work
man.
at 7. Hey, y'all boys be good, man. I appreciate the invite, man. Most
Hey, no
definitely.
doubt.
All the time,
Hey,
man.
if you save it, could you send it to me? I'm gonna rewatch it.
No. I'm
Yeah.
gonna save it. We gonna upload it and everything. We'll put you on
Yep.
there. All right.
I bet.
All right, my guy.
But yeah, man, it's like, nigga. Yeah. For example, now it is subgroups of blacks, right? You got the 5%ers, right? You got the Hebrew Israelites. That I guess you kind of, that's what I'm saying. Even like certain communities, like when you got certain communities of blacks, they kind of just lead that and just turn into the black community. Like what ethics and what ways of life do Jamaicans got? Like, is it one way of Jamaicans live? Like, not really. Like, it's certain ways that certain Jamaicans like that, like your traditional Jamaican, but by the time they really get Americanized, nigga, they just be the part of the black community. Same thing with Haitians, same thing with just black Americans, you know what I'm saying, or Nigerians, people from Ghana, you know what I'm saying, people from Kenya, Ethiopians, like, it's so many facets of us, dog. Now, granted, like I said, what I have noticed is the only way to is conquest, man. It's conquering and shit like that. That's the only way that people can kind of be on the same page. Is you gotta, and what happened is the only reason that black people all speak English is because we was colonized by people who speak English. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
if you could convince, like, how can we convince all people that phenotypically look like us to be on the same page, nigga? That's the only way that black people will be economic dominance. But just to see what happened in Africa, nigga, let alone the African slave trade, is so disheartening, nigga. That shit is devastating, honestly.
We do know this, and there is studies to this, and this is what's going to be hard to change. The majority of minorities, meaning black people, in major cities still live in the ghettos. That's the majority. That's just how it is. Most of the black people don't live in the suburbs. We know living in the cities, unfortunately, the school systems are horrible. That's just what it is. That's a fact. We know if you look at statistics on average, the better the school system, the better chance you have of getting a better job out of that school system, the better chance you get a higher wage out of that school system, which means that you get a better quality of life when it comes to economic finances. So this whole systemic thing of like trying to progress, not saying that you got to go to school to make money. We're saying if we're going to throw 440 million people in a pot, on average, white people live in suburbs. Suburban schools are just better. Guess what happens when you go to a suburban school? You learn coding. And guess what happens when you learn coding? You get a job making $130,000 out the gate. Guess what happens when you make $130,000 out the gate? You can buy a $400,000 house, and then you can afford your kids to go to them same schools. You can't, it's harder to do that when your school system's trash and you're in the ghetto. And unfortunately, most minorities in major cities live in the hood still. They don't live in $500,000 and $600,000 houses like Jerome's parents or how my parents or how you grew up. They don't live like that. Most of them just do not. So we know on average, those systemic things, those things have to change in order for most, because everybody can't own their own business and be millionaires that's black. They're not going to be, everybody's not going to be CEOs. Not all white people are CEOs. Not all white people are billionaires. Some of these guys are making $500,000. Some of these people are making $250,000. Some of these people are making $120,000. But the thing is, they're not going to school at Denby, I'll tell you that. And they're not going to Finney. And they're not going to Mumford.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. Like that's a stat, and black people will be mad. They don't want to face it. It's like, no, that school system is one of the biggest contributing factors on the money that you make for the rest of your life. Because like I said, most people don't become famous. Most people do not become rappers. Most people do not make millions of dollars, but you can make 200 and you can make $300,000.
So that's all. That's facts. And then another thing that's wrong is like the in-home education, right? Like you could take somebody from, they go to Denby, if they got the in-home education and it's on point, then they could turn out right. But we
you
don't
kind of
even
used to
got
have
the
that. Like, it depends. Like, so what's the in-home education? Like, is it the church? Is it like, what is
like,
it?
It's the mindset. The mindset.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, when if we all had to help?
Around money,
values around freedom, the values around not have. So say a person like that come to Atlanta, right? They pursue the wrong shit sometimes, right? And they pursue these like egoic goals instead of like some realistic shit that you could actually do and like become a millionaire.
Well, that's the thing.
Right. Like,
And that's another thing
like,
about being in a capitalistic society. Everybody keeps trying to strive to be a millionaire. Instead of just
Right.
try to get the money.
I'd be like, can you make $50,000? Can you figure out how to make
let's make some money first. Let's figure out how to make an income. Like let's figure out how to get paid for you know what I'm saying, offering value. And then however much we could we could keep growing that, then we could figure out how to get rich. But everybody keep talking about this $1 million. Just like it's so many, you know how you talking about the fake 100? There's so many fake millionaires, nigga.
That's what I was saying.
Y'all niggas so fake with that millionaire shit, man.
Like, stop it. Stop the cap.
Look, I made my first $1 million. Like, man, shut up. Like, even if your business generated $1 million, you still not a millionaire, bro. Like, put up all this virtual signaling and all this stupid ass shit, man. Like, nigga, but you right, wrong. But that's the problem. At the same time, nigga, you got to what morale and code and what. See, that's the thing. That was the beauty about the church back in the day. The church offered consequences. It'll tell you shit like, hey, if you disrespect your mother and father, you will be stoned. Yeah. Or, you know what I'm saying? If you do this, if you lose your virginity before this, you're going to hell. You know what I'm saying? There's no consequences today. That's how I know these niggas don't be real Christians. Because it's like you don't believe in the consequences of the divine God. Nigga. So why I gotta argue with you about Christianity? You don't believe in shit. You don't you live life with no consequences, nigga. Exactly. So what if it was real consequences on a humanistic standpoint, though? It was like, hey, bro, if them niggas do this, the black community is exiling you. We will stop fucking with you. We will cancel you. Or we will kill you. I ain't saying that. I'm just saying, what is the consequences for shit niggas do? There is no consequences for it. So there is no rules to being black. And when there's no rules, when a person don't feel like there's any consequences of doing anything to defy the black community, then it is what it is. No, a chick, y'all know black women, they don't feel no kind of way about coming home. They ain't even have no black dad, honestly. Most black women didn't even have no black dad. So you think they could feel a kind of way about getting pregnant at 15, 16 or coming home with a guy from a different race or ethnicity? Ain't no fucking consequences for that. Wasn't no generational wealth being passed down. Ain't no consequences for nothing, man. We going out, we going to blow we about to try to kill every nigga we can for these positions that we need to have, nigga. We gonna war. And that's the thing about an economic system too. It don't matter. Whoever at the bottom of that economic system will do two things. They're gonna conspire about why they're there, and it's gonna be crime. Because they gotta have crime in order for them to infiltrate to get to the top, nigga. That's the only way for us to even be able to compete with these niggas is we gotta create crime. And the only reason the top don't have as much crime as the bottom is because they the ones who decide what crime is and what's not. You get what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, you're right.
So, nigga, I mean, a capitalistic society it's going to be problematic, period. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, capitalistic society rewards people that offers value. You know what I'm saying? You might find it advantageous to, or I might incentivize you to want to learn programming and coding if your mind works in that kind of way. You might not give a fuck about it if we was living in a socialist society when you're not even about to be incentivized for
it. And you know what a lot of these white guys do? You know what a lot of these white guys that become cajillionaires and what they do is the reason why I said schooling is so important. Like I said, the majority of people actually benefit off actually going to school. Most people don't become rappers. Most people do not become Instagram models. Most people do not become Kanye West. Okay. Most people actually, they have jobs. Okay. Most people don't own their own businesses and they're not the CEOs of these businesses. They have jobs. They have normal 9 to 5, bro. So let's talk about majority of people, not these outliers. These guys go to school and they go to school and learn coding. You know what they do, Duan? Since me and you make $150,000 a year off coding, we put our money together and say, you know what, screw this. We're going to make our own consulting firm. What we about to do is we about to get you, him. Rome's not an idiot. Rome knows how to code. We about to start this accounting firm. We're going to build accounting software. Okay. And we're going to call it QuickBooks. Okay, and we're gonna sell. That's how they do it. But the start of that is not selling drugs and not flipping bricks. The start of that for a lot of these guys is just having normal jobs. And of course, you know, you need generational wealth. Some of these guys are trust fund babies, obviously, but some of the guys that
Yeah,
are,
they
they're just having, they have jobs and they're using the money. Now, if you have a job and you're making $30,000 a year because you're uneducated and you're working at Wendy's as a 37-year-old, that's hard to do. That's very difficult to do. Even if I wanted to come together, Dewan, and I had a brilliant idea, and you had a brilliant idea, and your ass is up the street working at McDonald's making $35,000 an hour as a 37-year-old. We don't have the capital or the credit or the assets to even get a loan to even start any of that business. So the system is like, we keep pushing like, start your own business and become a millionaire. Look, we all got to go to school. Just go to school. You got to do it anyway. That's what I'm saying. You got to go anyway. I mean, you could drop out and be stupid, but you got to do it anyway. And everybody say you could drop out. So everybody's not going to be Lil Wayne and everybody's not going to be Drake. So they need to stop using them as the norm. But just go to school because you got to do it anyway. And then that gives you a nice starting point. You got to be there for 4 years anyway. Just go to school. You know, but the problem is when you want to go to school, when you're in Denby, when you're in Finney, and when you're in Mumford, and you got to fight motherfuckers every day just to listen to your teacher, that's a problem. That's why I said the school systems is the issue. Is they suck, and it makes it hard for us as Black people to succeed when our school systems are trash.
Is it the school system or the community?
I'm about to say it's a little deeper, bro. You know, that's why people be talking shit about Democrats.
That's the foundation. There's a lot of reasons why. I mean,
no, I'm saying like, you know, so why is your school system trash, nigga? For one, nigga,
like I'm saying, if you dropped all them Denby niggas off at Canton,
yeah, that well shit.
Would they be the same?
No, they would be the same. No, you couldn't take them and chop them off. What you would have to do is you have to give them different parents, because anybody with a parent that's just gonna let you run wild in the suburb, that's a whole different story. But if you actually I'm talking about the resources. The school systems are trained. Now, Dewan, there's a lot of governmental systemic racist reasons why the schools are set up like that. I get that. I'm saying the problem is the schools are shitty. And the biggest, if you look at anybody with a college degree, they'll say on average, somebody with a college degree, and you can Google this, they make 7 to 10 times more than the person on average that does not have one. That's average. That is a stat. Yeah. So we know school is important to getting income. So what I'm saying is them schools are, and most people aren't CEOs, most people aren't Kanye West, and most people don't own their own businesses. Most people have normal jobs. So if we know those schools are the problem, that has to change. That's the piece that has to change. These people are going.
No, you're right. You're right. You right than a motherfucker. It's just, I guess it's the way we saying this, because I know if people actually start supporting the fucking podcast and start watching it, we gonna get flack for saying. I know what you said, because you big on education, and I'm big on education too. As far as.
And that's a starting point. And then use that to go.
It depends on who you are. And it does, let's be honest, it does depend on what you're going to school for. But I will say this. I think the biggest asset about, going to an institution is the relationships you can build from it. But I'll say this, though. It ain't just school, but it is schooling, period. It's some form of education, being able to get a skill set that's going to be valuable to society, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't necessarily just gotta be an institution. It could be a trade school. It could be going to, the military and learning the trade there. But basically, you cannot be a person that doesn't learn anything that you can offer to a society of value. Now, another thing that's a cheat code about having a degree is the degree tells employers or anybody that you're certified at whatever skill set that you went and got the education in.
It demands a wage. You got to pay that person you got to pay them. You can't just start them out at the bottom. You got to pay them what an accountant makes because they have an accountant degree. You can't just say
that goes with the depending on how valuable that asset is in that field. You know what I'm saying? The asset being that degree or whatever the fuck it is. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna be a competitive type of asset to have. Like, this guy comes from a accredited institution. That these guys accountants from here us the shit, nigga. This nigga gonna have our books looking excellent. We gotta pay him this amount of money. But if you coming out, nigga, with a you know, not you know, I don't want to disrespect nobody's degree,
And
but
I'm
like,
not even saying the college too. I'm talking about the high school though, Dewan. I'm not even talking about the college too. Because you're right, you could go to a trade school, but these
but think about it, like you just said,
schools are
Denby.
so trash that they don't learn. I've sat with kids in college. They said I didn't learn anything until I sat in this seat. They literally said I don't know what I was doing for 4 years. I didn't start learning. That is a problem.
Yeah.
Because the school is trash. It's horrible. They can't learn shit. There's people that didn't learn numbers until they got to college. That's a problem.
Man, nigga, but that's sometimes they choice. Like,
I mean,
I remember I was in college. I was in college. I remember being in college, actually, like struggling with math. Like, damn, wow, I kind of forgot a little bit of this shit. And I was so cold in math.
Yeah.
But I knew deep down it's because it became a point in time, nigga, where I just stopped even applying myself in high school. I just thought I didn't need some of that information.
You went to Belleville. Your school wasn't that bad. These schools, I'm talking about.
Yeah. I already know.
Yeah, your school wasn't that bad.
I'm just saying, like, even then, my school wasn't that bad, and I was in there making it bad. That's what I'm saying. Niggas is in there. I'm in there doing bullshit, nigga. So you know what I'm saying? But even then, bro, like this is the dumbest shit. We was just talking about this today with Rachel. This how stupid like my mentality was. Even
a lot of us had that. A lot of us had
my mentality was so. I was just telling this to Rachel. I was like, it's kind of embarrassing. I was like, and this real talk, man. It's stupid as fuck. I was like, Rachel, my credits probably went to shit, didn't it? She's like, yeah, nigga, them bitches doesn't exist anymore. Cause I ain't been in school, nigga, since 09, right?
Yeah.
But nigga, I had dropped out. I could have. It was just a, and I remember thinking even then, and there's no disrespect to nobody, but it was an associate. So I'm like, man, fuck this weak ass shit. But nigga, I dropped out of there, bro. I could have. All I had to do was finish the semester. I could have had that degree.
Yep.
I just said, fuck it. Like I ain't about to use this.
But you know how many people?
I should have just grabbed it. I should have just grabbed it.
In the black community, though, the problem is a lot of people in the black community don't value education because the shit that we see on our phones makes you think that's not what you got to do to get there.
Yeah.
Like we're watching Instagram.
I did say this. Remember this time? You was around too around this time. Like, nigga, I literally could have finished with one semester and had this degree. I remember niggas like Joe Simmons. Shout out to Joe. I remember every nigga that
was
had
it,
degree.
Was it from Washington?
It was from Washington, but I remember like none of these niggas had good jobs.
No, Joe struggled for wow.
But the problem was we had you right. We had dumbass mindsets. We was kids. Ain't nobody gonna have a good ass job right away. Because you know at that time they was in a company. A lot of companies is doing it now, but especially with business, they do like the paperwork, but they do respect the experience. So I remember I'm sitting around. I had that's the problematic when you don't have mentorship, right? I'm looking at all these young niggas like, man, these niggas broke as hell. They ain't getting no good job. Right. So I'm taking that on the chin, and it's like, and I do still kind of think this a little bit like, when you getting degrees in business, the best thing about that, it is almost like you got to kind of work it like a trade. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you got to work it that way, but still you can still climb the corporate ladder and then go off and then, you know what I'm saying, be contracted out and shit like that, or just start your own shit. But we wasn't thinking like that. We sitting around, that's that problem with the black community. We like, damn, nigga, I need E-lanes. I need $5,000 chains right now. And these niggas making $16 an hour, man. Fuck this shit.
I'm gonna give you the inverse of that, where I was messed up. I was sitting in college watching my friends work 5 to 6 days a week in these plants, making $19 an hour when I was making $0.
Yeah.
Okay. And
same thing with me.
I was watching them bring home checks, $2,200 checks at 20. And I was like, so it was funny. I remember sitting there and I was thinking, I was even talking to my sister. And I was telling myself, I said, Toria, this shit's got to pay off because I'm not getting any money for 6 years. Like, this shit's got to pay off. Now I'm sitting here and I'm like, that shit paid off like a motherfucker. But back then, I was like, yo, this shit's got to, these niggas are getting 20. I'm sitting here struggling with $400 in my account at a time. And these niggas got $2,200 checks. They're working 6 days a week while I'm in school. I'm sitting here taking a Scantron, and I literally had $300 to my name, and these niggas got $2,100 checks, dog, at 20. Like, and it used to fuck me up because I was. That's
what I did. I went straight for the money, nigga. I went straight for the money. I do wish, But the only reason you know, it depend. Everybody path different, man. I know niggas that did not go to school, man. They got the bag, man. But those
Yeah,
niggas
true.
was,
And I know a lot of niggas that went to school that are broke niggas. I do know
yeah,
that too. But
it's so funny.
Yeah.
And let's talk about that. The niggas that went to school that's broke, they did not have the go-getter and the personality to work these degrees.
Agreed.
The niggas that I know that got the super bag that didn't go to school, they had a super extroverted personality where they was going straight to the top, nigga, because they was going straight to the top of people to show people and tell people that it just worked out for them.
Yeah.
Now I will teach my son. That's the thing, you got to see it in a nigga too. I want my sons. Some people you gotta push them to get an education. Yeah. Everybody ain't about to run their own business because in reality, a lot of you niggas ain't got the personality to run your own business. You too scared to talk to people. You too scared to get things going.
Well, we talked about some of our friends. They're too scared to even step out of a box.
Yeah. But if you a nigga that could, let's look at Kanye West. I understand why Kanye West dropped out of that nigga is innovate. He gonna go and step in any room and he gonna walk in and get some shit cracking. All you niggas ain't about to do that. It's cool. Y'all don't even want to do that. I don't even understand why people be thinking they want to be entrepreneurs. You don't want to be no entrepreneur, nigga.
You don't want to do that.
You don't want to do that shit, bro.
Yeah. They want to do it because it sounds cool. They want to do it because it sounds
man, they think it's easy.
Because it sounds cool, they're wrong. They
it sounds good, but it's like, nigga, you think it's kissing ass to even talk to a person or come to a bar. So how you think you're gonna build a business relationship, motherfucker? You can't even return a regular phone call because you got social anxiety from that.
Yeah, that's facts. Hey, I'm about to put that. Hey, that's going on my story, man. That's going on my story.
Yeah. How you gonna do that, bro? How you build a business relationship? You can't even maintain a regular relationship. Nigga, that's stressful as fuck. You gonna have to be nice to some people you might not want to be nice to when business, nigga. You niggas don't have a personality for that shit. Now, granted, like I said, I work at, I see niggas that's smarter than they boss as far as like the way they brain is hardwired all the time. I know engineers that work for niggas that couldn't figure out how to do that shit at all. They telling them niggas what to do. But at the end of the day, the reason they telling y'all niggas what to do is because they got extroverted personalities. They got enough balls to tell you what the fuck to do. And you're submissive enough to listen. You don't want to know what to do. You want to be told what to do. Remember I told you about these little niggas? I'm like, what I'm starting to figure out about these niggas is these niggas don't want to collaborate with us. They don't want to really fuck with us. They'd rather pay us for consultation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though we could build way more and we'd give them all the information for free if they collaborated with us. They don't want to do that. They better pay you for consultation. That's the same way you will see a fucking engineer working for his boss, nigga, a computer engineer, and the boss don't know shit about none of that. Besides telling that nigga be here at 8 o'clock, nigga, had his project done, nigga, by December 23rd.
Yep.
He don't know how to do that shit, but he got enough balls to tell your ass how to do that shit. And he's structured and he's militant enough to know how to motherfucking make niggas get on their job and know how to, you know what I'm saying, do shit like that, nigga. You get what I'm saying? Yep. Now, the main reason he don't know how to do data computing or any of that kind of shit, because he know that that's not where the money, he like, I don't give a fuck about none of that. I'm going to tell you niggas what to do. It's kind of like the quarterback. It's like, nigga, I don't need to know how to run these fucking routes. I'm going to tell your bitch ass, be over there, nigga, and I'm going to hit you with that motherfucking pass, nigga. Think about that. Do Tom Brady run routes? Or is he engineering them bitches?
Yeah. Yeah, no,
nigga running shit. He like that. But this nigga the GOAT, though. He like, nigga, I ain't running no fucking route. Nigga, get your ass over there and be whoever can get there, nigga, is gonna be, I'm gonna have y'all niggas looking good this season. If not, nigga, you're not getting no touches.
No, it's I think I talked to you about this, Dewan, just over. I mean, you've seen the course of in my career. I thought it was like, I was like, oh, I want to be a marketing analyst. And I was like, oh, cool. And then I thought, and I was like, dang, the money is in the people that manage these people. Then I was like, oh, snap. The real money is in working on the project that these people are managing and building. But just work to move the project. So it's like you have to be innovative enough in your head, like with whatever you're doing to have forward thinking. And what problem is, Dewan, is a lot of people that we know, they don't have forward thinking. They don't think, they're thinking about the now and they're thinking about this. They're not thinking about where they could go. Half of these people aren't even confident that they could go there. And that's not about 90% of the problem. If you actually think in your head you can't do something, DeJuan, you ain't gonna do it. I promise you. I don't care how much cap you talking to Jerome. I don't care how much cap you talking to me, to yourself. If you actually think in the back of your head you can't do it, you won't do it. I promise you won't do it. And you for damn sure won't succeed if you try.
Nigga, I know I can get the bag. I decided, man, as far as us, one thing about like, you know what I'm saying?
And as we talking, I just got another subscriber because I believe I can do this. Because
I know I'm gonna get the bag, bro, because I'm gonna keep chasing it. Now, you know what I'm saying? One of these things gonna actually monetize themselves or whatever. But I'm gonna get the accolades too. I decided because I was just talking to Rachel. I was like, damn, I need to go ahead and just go grab that degree again, nigga, so I could just have my accolades.
Hey, you got the best resource right here, dog. I got you. I got you.
I gotta get that shit. I just don't want to pay for that shit, and I'm already paying for that shit, man.
I know.
It's another thing, bro. We should have just did that shit, bro. We should have just grabbed the fucking paperwork, man.
Hey, low key, I'm gonna keep it a bag. These local schools, the CCs are so low. The credits are so low, and they got so many programs that incentivize people to go that you might get a hell of a deal now on going than what we used to. They got so many programs that you just got to look them up, like different grant programs where you ain't got to pay nothing. You just have to actually do the legwork and look them up. And
I have to look them up. I ain't trying to pay them motherfuckers.
Because my credits was when I went for my undergrad, it was $200 to $300 a credit hour. You can go up to Schoolcraft and it's like $65 a credit hour. That's nothing.
I'm gonna look into it. I'm gonna call her Washington though. I'm gonna see if them bitch ass niggas give me my credits, man. They probably ain't. They gonna be like, get your bitch ass on. But I gave them niggas too much money, man. Give me my shit, man.
Not gonna give them to you.
Huh?
Washington not gonna give them to you, bro.
I'm about to see what's up because I got, like I said, man, like nigga, I could damn near finish in a semester. Like just give me that big ass paperwork, and it ain't even like I'm trying to go use it for none of that shit. I just want it for the accolades of building this brand, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So,
big facts. No,
we don't need these motherfucking companies, man. We don't. I fucking partner with motherfuckers doing shit like that, and that's the thing about this shit. Like where the future is. That's why I said like niggas like Dom. Oh man, the future, bro. I already see it, nigga. It's like I said, nigga. This is what I tell niggas as far as like I said, measuring it. A lot of people might be able to figure things out faster than me, all kind of shit. I give them that. One, I got a disadvantage, nigga. I got ADHD. Now, the advantage of having ADHD is when I'm hyper focused on something and locked in on it, I'm so compulsive about it that nigga. So that's what it is. And the thing that seems to be I'm compulsive about is information. So that's why niggas will be like, oh,
and that's dangerous. And that's a dangerous combination. So
that's why niggas be like, oh, this nigga's nigga. I'm compulsive about niggas will be sitting around listening to stupid shit all day or listening to dumbass. Now, I'll check out certain interviews and shit like that, but nigga, I'm listening to an economist, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm the shit that I'm educating myself on every fucking day, nigga, because it's my hobbies, nigga. Be shit that nigga, you know what I'm saying, niggas can learn a lot of information from. But at the end of the day, it's like this though. That really don't mean that I'm really smarter than niggas. I'm telling niggas like, hey, the reason why I just be so much smarter than niggas is because I'm so much wiser than them. Nigga, I just seek to obtain so much more information than them. If they actually could, now one might think that's a measure of intellect. For some reason, these niggas just can't sit there and listen to it or gather the information. They don't care about it enough.
Let's keep it 100. You're missing one very important component that you have that Jerome has. He clearly shows in the gym. There are people, and you can't just say, oh, it's with something that you're interested in. There are people that literally just don't have the gear called drive. They don't have it. My cousin,
they just don't. But you know, a nigga will sit around and listen to Lil Boosie interview for 10 hours.
Yeah,
and that's cool. I can listen to Lil Boosie too. But my problem is when niggas is that's all they listen to. I told you, bro. I had peaked. That was an issue in 2016 when I was having a conversation with that nigga. He had the biggest e-commerce business in Atlanta, though. This was 2016. And I could not articulate myself to have an intellectual conversation with him. I was like dumb as hell. And I told you I was laying down in bed that night and I was laughing about it because I know I got a deep vocabulary, but the words wasn't in the front. They weren't in the frontal cortex of my brain. They was too buried because I've been indulging myself in stupid ass mindless information for months at a time because I was just talking to dumbass niggas and listening to dumbass content all day. It was nothing of intellectual value. So I remember I was talking to the nigga and I was like, I know that nigga thought I was dumb as hell. Yeah. And it was so funny. I even laughed about it later on.
Rusty.
I was like, what the fuck? I ain't fucking with that shit no more.
Well, even Rome, with the tech stuff, like when we was getting this podcast stuff started, Dewan actually knew a lot of this stuff, like the video editing and all that stuff. I won't even say, Jerome, I'm an expert by any means in it or at all. But I asked Dewan about it, and Dewan was going to do it all for me. And he did do a couple of them for me. But I realized that it was taking him so much time to do it because he was doing his and mine. So I said, okay, screw this. I'm going to learn this myself. Dewan didn't tell me to go learn it myself. I was just playing with it, and you would see a video go up, and you're like, oh, you kind of was messing with it a little bit, wouldn't you? And you would see another one go up, but again, that the same drive that has Dewan seeking information and the same drive that has you in the gym, Jerome, I'm saying people lack that gear. There are my cousin Travis does not have, this nigga has no drive. If you told Travis to do A, B, C, or D, Jerome, he'd do it. He'd do it in a heartbeat, and he'd do it over and over and over as long as you told him. As soon as you let your hand off, that nigga is done, and he's standing here like this. That's it. And this is where he's going to stay until somebody else pushes him in a different direction or somebody else pushes him in this direction.
You know what's crazy?
That's it.
The brain is nothing but a muscle, and we train the body all the time. I just tell niggas, train the motherfucking brain. Like, bro, long as you keep educating yourself, long as we know more than these motherfuckers, they never gonna have nothing on us. They not gonna be able to fuck with us. The reason they can't fuck with us is because you don't know more than us, bro.
Exactly.
You might know more about something than me, but you don't know more. You're not more educated than me on everything. You know what I'm saying? You don't have, like you said, like a nigga might be a better shooter. Yep. A nigga might have a better handle. A nigga might be more athletic, but you're not better than me at everything on this court, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm working on everything and I won't stop.
I won't stop. And that's the thing. I won't stop.
Stop, nigga. And that's the thing about information and education. You don't have to stop. Niggas be thinking that's nothing. Niggas thought niggas stopped. These niggas
they think they done when they done with school. Niggas think when they done with school, they done learning. That's the worst. That's why most people not gonna get rich. Because even if you go to school, you get some paper. But if you want to get rich, you got to be a continual learner. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that got to be like an addiction. It got to be your favorite hobby. Like, nigga,
hey, Jerome, I can't want something more than when you want it. I can't want something more than what you want it. So you got to do it. I can't want it no more than you want it. If you don't want it, it's cool. Then we got our answer. Just chill and be in the same position. Be good. Ain't nothing to talk about. You ever wanted, Jerome, you see people when you almost want somebody, you can see something in them and you want it for them worse than they do. It's like, I can't want it more than you. Like, you got to do it, man.
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro.
And you know that they love it too.
Yeah.
Talk them out.
It's crazy. Yeah,
that's
fact.
The first part. Motherfucking capable of it too.
Like, for instance, I know Dewan right now at 36 could easily go to school and knock it out. I know he could. That'd be easy for him. I think it'd be easier now, Dewan, than you could do it now than could back then because you actually got the support system. And, Rachel will support you and all that. It could be easier now. He's got to want to do it. You know what I'm saying? but I think he could do it easily at this point, for sure. So, and you also don't have all the idiot. I mean, Dewan, think about it. Don't nobody hang out. It's hard to do when we were 20-something, Jerome, because like I said, all them distractions we had. We had bro, so many distractions when you 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 trying to go to. Right now, we old as hell, man. Look, ain't nobody about to bug you. You can sit your ass in that house, come back to that gulag, study, go to sleep, go to work, and do it all over.
You don't even got to pull up.
Gotta be a gulag, man.
You gotta physically pull up to that bitch, man.
Hell, man. He said, bring your ass. Go and get your bitch ass back in that gulag, nigga. Hey, I don't even know if you peeped you said, man. Hey, man, what? Man, see, that's why that's the hardest part. This is a fucking.
That's the hard hardest part. He said that's the hardest part.
Fuck that gulag.
Hey, why you said that's the hardest? Hey, you ain't lying, dog. That gulag be hard, bro. I remember being in that, boy. I was in solitary confinement. My goodness.
Right.
I couldn't even get my visitor calls to Dewan. I had nothing on my books. Matter of fact, when I went to that Pistons game, that was like I went to the halfway house. That's why I was so happy.
I see.
I was at the halfway. I was like, yes, with a tether on me. I was like, yes. This is what freedom feels like. Oh.
Man, I need a real life, man. Man, we out of here. Hey, Wrong. Tap in with me tomorrow, man, so we can get some of that shit in the mail, man. But by the way, tell me if you like.
You talking about the background?
Oh man, I got this video about to be so long, bro. I hope we can even. You know what? I'm gonna upload this motherfucker straight from the computer. Man.
Yeah, you just do that and put a catchy title on.
All right, man. So fuck it. We out of here, man. It's the Gulag Boys podcast, man. I'm gonna have this bitch uploaded by tomorrow, my niggas. Y'all boys know what it is, man. Let's keep this shit going, man. We're gonna drop 100 trillion episodes on these boys, man.
You dig?
All right, my niggas, we out.
Wow.